I don't need to think about it. There's nothing in this world that we can't do. Flowers even mad about it, 'cause they can't bloom like you don't. I don't see a way around it, 'cause everything has led me straight to you. It's nothing new. Baby, I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside.
Hey guys, this is the young heiress and welcome back to my new video, which is going to be my second apartment tour in Marseille. So let's go. So if you guys are new to my channel, there is an apartment tour that I put up of my actual apartment that I'm living in France, Marseille, about a year ago when I moved here. And I did a little comparison between all of the apartments that I lived in New York versus the apartment that I found in Marseille in France. And mostly the reaction from my friends in New York were like, what? Like, you got this gorgeous apartment just at below 1,000 euros. This is amazing, which I also believe it's truly amazing. And it's been almost 1 year that I've been living in that apartment, so I felt like, why don't I just go to a new apartment for my second year of being in Marseille? So I have recently started another apartment search, and I felt like sharing that again so that I can show you a little bit more about the city, because now that I've been lived here for a year, if you are ever considering to come down in the south of France, maybe you're an expat who wants to be a freelancer living anywhere around the world because you can just work off of your laptop, or because of COVID you've been working from home and you could take a little remote vacation slash like sort of expatriate life in a different city other than your own hometown or your current place in America or wherever, why don't you consider south of France? And so today's video is going to be really fun because I also want to share some really sort of crucial information if you ever wanted to move out to south of France being an expat, and I can actually help you with that because I've also been helped by this specific agent that I have been working to find my own apartment, who is also the property owner of this apartment as well. And so he's gonna also be able to share with you how you can come and approach like renting an apartment as an expat in the south of France. But before that, I've just been given permission to come into this apartment to have a look and to see if it's fit for me. So let's take a look around and I'm gonna get you into those nitty-gritty details. Let's go.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. It's sunny out, but it just comes in waves.
Okay, so now that I've been living in Marseille for almost a year, I just wanted to give you a little bit of the idea of what Marseille is. And so, if you look at all these celebrities who come to this south of France, they mostly go to like Cannes, Saint-Tropez, probably Monaco because there's Monte Carlo, and they would go to these cities where you know that it's very touristic. It has that French Riviera vibe, and you are sure to do your luxury shopping, go to those hotels and hit the bars and stuff, which I couldn't agree more. I have actually been to Cannes, Saint-Tropez, not yet in Monaco, but from where I am, I only had to drive like 2 to 3 hours, and we would arrive in Cannes, Nice, Saint-Tropez right away. And it was during quarantine, so there weren't many people there, but it was super nice. You definitely saw those red carpets ready for the Cannes Festival, and you could see all of the boutiques with a super nice vibe. It's not like what you see in New York, for example. It has that definitely French Riviera vibe, even if it's the same Chanel, if it's the same Celine, it will have a different boutique. And so everything was really, really nice and luxurious. In Marseille, those luxury shopping spots are also here, but not all the brands are here. But Also, there's also this really nice like touristic area that you can go to hit the bars. You can go on a little cruise or a little boat trip during the day, and you can sort of discover the south of France as well. So I would say in Marseille, you can get the same kind of like French Riviera vibe as you can do in other cities in the south of France. But it's also pretty low-key compared to Cannes and Saint-Tropez. And so if you are actually not considering to go to the south of France to just, you know, kind of explore the city and stay in your luxurious like vacation kind of vibe for like 2 to 3 weeks, but you actually want to stay and live for a longer period, like 6 months to a year, I would say Marseille is kind of like the perfect spot because you get the French Riviera vibe, but it's also low-key, so you can sort of stay like a local. You can walk to most of the places. You can do all those beautiful beach walks, like run on the hillside, watching the ocean view every morning, and still have all that like sort of local fruits and veggies and those seafood that you like, and get access to all the things that you want in the south of France as well. And so I would say if you are considering for any reason to come to the south of France to live a little bit, Marseille is pretty much the good place to come. And that's sort of what I would say about Marseille to begin with. And right now we are in our first like sort of study, because this apartment has 2 rooms, which is 1 bedroom, and this room, which is like a small study where you have a really nice picturesque view of the sky that I just showed you, which is beautiful. Like you can just look out and sort of work at the same time, and probably have some guests around, because this couch right here is a sofa bed, baby. So let's go and check out the rest of the house.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. It's sunny out, but it just comes in waves. When you ask me if I'm okay, I don't have a lot to say. Can't tell you something I do not know. Thought the other side was always green.
Oh my god, this bedroom is so gorgeous. It looks like a boutique hotel. So this is the bedroom, and as you can see on my left, there is a huge closet. So if ladies, you got a lot of dresses, you got a lot of shoes, you don't have to worry. You can put all of your belongings here, and right in front of me there's another closet that you can just put some clothes that probably like worn clothes or something that's gonna take volume. You can also put on this side, and on my right side there are 2 huge windows that you can still look out to that picturesque view of Marseille. You've got this whole city view, including like sort of the mountainous hills that the city offers, with the buildings and also the sea. So you've got this like view in a bird's eye in your bedroom, with this gorgeous bed, with this nice color of like bed sheets and matching walls, decoration that you can enjoy yourself with probably your loved ones, or I don't know, your family. And so next up, I want to talk to you a little bit about life in Marseille, and if you ever wanted to come here and to consider living here. And so, like I mentioned before, there's definitely a comparison between other cities, between south of France. Now this time, I want to compare a little bit between Paris and Marseille. Now, okay, I've never really lived in Paris, but I've had a lot of friends who are Parisian, who moved to Marseille, or who either worked and lived in Paris for a long time when they were like single, or when they weren't married before, or when they had kids before, and eventually a lot of them moved out, and a lot of them, guess where, moved out to Marseille. Now here's why. Paris has its charms. Paris is the most like sort of romantic city that everyone gets that goosebumps when you hear it. Some people save up their lifetime to come to Paris and, I don't know, at least travel, or if you get to live there, it's like, you know, a dream come true. But at the same time, imagine yourself in Paris during lockdown with no restaurants to go to, with nowhere you can really go and sort of enjoy yourself, no museums open, nothing to really enjoy yourself. And on top of that, you have your family, you have your dog. Like, what would you do in Paris? It's just sort of depressing. And so a lot of people during lockdown, even not during lockdown, but when they had family and when they had more time to think about the well-being of their life, a lot of people ended up looking outside of Paris. And so, being only 3 hours away on the train from Paris, Marseille became like a hot spot for a lot of Parisians to move out to and continue their family life in a more like sort of, you know, open air with a lot more things to do in the nature, with this beautiful, gorgeous blue sky throughout the whole year without having to worry about weather, about like gloomy days, about rain, and just sort of like letting yourself go. And Marseille, even in between French people, has become like a really top destination for them to move out and sort of live their second life. And so even for French people, Marseille has become a pretty hot spot, and an apartment like this, it's gonna go in any minute. So I've been lucky to come here before it hit the market, and which means if I get this, either my apartment's gonna be available for you guys, or if you want, you can get this one. So I'm gonna put some links below, and now let's go to the kitchen and the living room area.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. Sunny out, but it just comes in waves. When you ask me if I'm okay, I don't have a lot to say.
Who's there? Oh, who are you? Okay, we can see ourselves. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Should we shake hands?
Yes.
So, this is actually Frederick.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to, well, welcome to my channel.
Everyone.
So I wanted to invite Frederick today because he actually helped me to find my first apartment in Marseille. And as you guys know, I moved directly from New York. And even though my husband is French and he had the working conditions to be starting in Marseille, we didn't exactly have the same condition as any normal French people would have to rent an apartment. So Frederick, who we've also found on the website called Le Bon Coin, which is like the most popular website for anything in France, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
For buying cars, for buying used clothes, for anything. Real estate is also a big thing on Le Bon Coin, and we found Frederick. So I wanted to invite him and hear about what Frederick does for people like us. So, what do you do?
What do we do? Basically, we realized 2 years ago that it was very difficult for people that were coming in Marseille at first to get an apartment. It was difficult for different reasons. Either even if they were French coming from, for example, from Lyon or from Paris, they may have a trial period on their working contract, and during this trial period, the real estate agencies won't accept their file, or they won't be able to apply for an apartment during this period.
Right.
So it's a bit difficult because you cannot really settle.
Right.
That's a problem.
You need to still work and live here.
Yeah, exactly. And for people coming from abroad, like expat, it's even more complicated because they will have, first, they will have the trial period as well in their contract, and second of all, they won't have a history on the income tax in France, and that will be requested. Problem is, you won't have any paper on that before at least a year and a half in France. So very difficult to get one also. It's not very difficult, but it's very long.
And even for expats, maybe they don't even have a tax number yet.
I mean, by the time you get the paper,
yeah,
you may have to move from France.
Exactly. So, it doesn't make any sense.
So that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So what's the purpose of our company is, on one side, we secure the rent for the landlord, because in France, all the rights, the tenants' rights are very strong, and the tenants and the landlord are a bit afraid of the law and of everything that can happen. So they don't trust easily a tenant. So basically, we secure the rent for the landlord. We secure the apartment, and we will assure the landlord an income every month during 3 years.
Okay.
That's the part of on the landlord, and this with this we can rent the apartment to basically whoever we want.
Okay.
And we decided to focus on the customer that will match what we do in Izihome, and those customer being people working and moving for work, moving in Marseille for work, or moving in Lyon, in Paris, in Nice, in Aix-en-Provence, where we are working now.
Okay, so basically, if anybody from outside they want to come and find an apartment in France for Marseille, Paris, Lyon, Nice, Aix-en-Provence,
Yes,
they can come to you.
they can come to us. Yes.
Great.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain.
So then, what kind of expats have you been working so far?
Oh, we have expat from Brazil, Colombia, United States, UK, Germany, Spain, Portugal. We got Italy. We had India. We got Uzbekistan.
Wow.
We had like Hong Kong. Yes.
Which is where you were stationed for a long time.
Korean.
Yeah. Well, you just heard it. All those cities, you can come to Marseille and just find a home from Frederick.
Yeah, one of the things, I think it's one of the easiest points is that we all speak English.
Right.
And that's a good starting point,
Well,
because in France,
we as in you.
in France or in Marseille,
Oh my God.
can be very difficult to find anyone speaking French.
Why is that?
We
Why
speak
why
English.
don't French people speak? I mean, I'm sure they speak it. They learn it at school.
We learn English in school, but the thing is very scholar, and in France there is kind of a thing, you need to be a rebel, kind of. You see,
Rebel?
rebel to authority and and teachers and kind of all that. And being very good in English is not a good way to be seen by other teenagers. So,
Really? Would you agree that Marseille is still safe in every corners of Marseille, for even for like people who don't really know which area is good or bad? Not necessarily bad, but not as safe. They can just walk anywhere and be feeling comfortable?
Yes, that's two different things. Being safe and feeling comfortable. Being safe in the center of Marseille, I think you can go wherever you want. You are safe. I mean, the quarters that are not safe are not in the very center of Marseille, and you have nothing to do there. So there
It's
is
pretty
no reason.
far also, right?
There is no reason to go there. So don't go there. Then there is a feeling comfortable point. That's a lot different, and depend where in the areas of Marseille. For example, when you go maybe around La Joliette, which is like
Which is where I am.
You are at the beginning. You are closer to Vieux-Port than La Joliette. When you are closer to La Joliette, it's very living during the weekdays, but in the evening and at night and during weekends, it's quite empty. And then you can have this feeling that it's
weird.
uncomfortable. Like I am. You think that you are in those like horror movie alone in the parking lot.
But but why is that? Is it because there's a lot of offices mostly?
Yeah,
or?
it's a lot of offices, and the people from Marseille don't live there.
Right.
So they all invest there, so they have many apartments to rent, but they don't live there. So as they don't live there, there is no real reason to develop
residents, right.
restaurants and all that for
They
the
don't
evenings.
work, right.
And there are not many shops, so during weekends everything is closed. So yes, it's living during office hours.
Which is exactly why we are on the other side today, right?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
this is the other side where I live, and I've come to the other side to explore. Also because I realized that where I am is very touristic. It moves a lot during certain events or during nighttime when people want to walk around the viewport. But let's say during the week, I want to be, you know, with other families or other like parents with my kid, or I want to go even to the beaches, which is just 2 minutes away from here. This part is actually wonderful.
Yes.
So I think we're gonna move this to the balcony to show them where we are, and you can probably give us a little more tour.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. It's sunny out, but it just comes in waves.
So this apartment is a 2-bedroom apartment with a master bedroom with a big wardrobe and many locations to put your stuff. You got a second bedroom that is more a room for friends, like there is a comfortable couch in it and
You can
a
make
small
it
desk.
into a bed also, right?
You can,
The sofa bed.
Sofa bed, yeah. You got this main room that's a living room with the living room and the kitchen connected to it, and the balcony that is facing toward the sea. You have a very good view on the sea.
I mean, people pay for the view.
Yeah, for the view, and you have also part of the cliff that are part of Marseille as well.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain. It's sunny out, but it just comes in waves.
The area, we are in the 7th, let's say, district of Marseille. It may not be the first one that I will advise for someone coming from abroad, because it's very poorly connected to public transport. You can, you have, I think, you have, I think, 2 or 3 buses line coming there, but you have no metro, no tramway, nothing like that, so it's a bit difficult. Very difficult to park your car as well.
Come on, you gotta show us some good stuff.
But you are very close to the sea, like 5 minutes, not even, maybe 2 or 3 minutes away from a walking distance from the sea. You have many shops around, a lot of apartments with a very nice view, and this is the reason why I think 80% of people living inside Marseille and from Marseille want to live there.
In this district.
In Marseille, we don't really speak with by district. It's more like
the name of
it makes the effect that we have. That Marseille is like the sum of many small villages.
Villages.
You have here you are close to Catalan or Place du 4 Septembre, but you have also Andoum that is not very far. You have Corniche, you have Malmousque. This is what we talk about Marseille. People from Marseille won't really know exactly where or exactly are the limits of each district, but they will know the name of the quarter.
One of the reasons that my friends in New York were so amazed by my last video that I did about my apartment, which also you found for us, was actually the rent. Because coming from New York, we used to pay minimum like $2,000 per month for an apartment that was actually smaller than where we are right now. And so you have to surprise us how much this apartment with 2 bedrooms almost, with 1 big living room, with kitchen, with a balcony, with the view on the sea, and very close to the beach in 2 minutes walk.
And let's make some people from the people from New York to drink. There is also a dishwasher and
the laundry machine
inside the apartment.
Exactly. You don't have to move anywhere. You just can stay here and enjoy yourself.
No, the rent is a little bit less than €1,000 per month.
This is
like
what you get
995
for less than €1,000 per month.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
That's, well, I mean, Marseille is cheaper than Paris, for example, and it's really, you may have some nice apartment for a very cheap price. Problem is more for apartment bigger than 2 bedroom and more. There are not so many on the market. So
because they're already taken.
Because they are taken, and they are not most of them they are bought to be.
Oh, I see. So they will buy it for their own home.
For their own home, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So finding these apartments to rent is really hard to find.
Exactly.
Unless you come to Frederick.
Yeah.
And also, we forgot to mention that all of the apartments that you list, they are fully furnished.
Fully furnished.
They are fully furnished. So even if you find those apartments on the Bon Coin, they might be completely empty.
Yes.
And you have to find your own furniture, whereas you come into one of these homes, and as you can see, it's not just furnished, they're like beautiful. Sometimes they have like these matching color schemes going on throughout the whole apartment. Usually they're renovated. They've been all like redone with like new appliances, like coffee machines, like, you know, stuff that you can live right away. You can just come with your luggage and you can just live from day one.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully think that after looking at my videos, there's a lot of my friends who wants to even consider, you know, come and live in Marseille. And you know, there's a lot of freelance, there's a lot of people working from home. So I think living abroad is not just a dream anymore, especially when you can find your home so easily like this. So I'm just gonna go out and enjoy the view before I have to leave. And I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thought the other side was always green. There isn't any color in my dreams. When you ask me if I'm okay, I don't have a lot to say. Can't tell you something I do